So we're here today with Maria of the Maria's Conceicao Foundation, and we met her at the TED in Dubai, and we wanted to know more about how it all started. So Maria, where were you born?
I was born in Portugal.
And you said something about your mother died in the early age, and you were taken in by someone
When
else?
I was 2 years old, my mother had no job, and this is when she met Cristina, a poor refugee woman from Angola. She was a widow, and she had 6 kids. And
She moved to Portugal.
Yes, she was a refugee in Portugal. And when she met my mom, and seeing her struggling, she didn't hesitate in offering to volunteer to look after me until my mom found a job. What Cristina didn't know at the time was that my mom had Alzheimer's and she would never come back to pick me up. So Cristina became my mother. She was never able to legally adopt me, and she had to fight for years with the social services and the government in Portugal, because 30 years ago it was inconceivable of the idea of a black woman to adopt a white child. And Cristina died when I was 12 years old, and then her older kids, they looked after me.
So what did she used to do? Like, what was her work? What did
She was a cleaner.
She was
full-time
a cleaner.
cleaner.
And her other children, what were they doing? Like
They were children. They were
Like-
children.
they were older. When they were older, what were they doing?
They're doing jobs, regular day jobs
Okay. And where did you go to school?
in Portugal.
No, like did you do
I
all
went to
the?
school in Portugal.
So what did you study? Like
I just went to school in Portugal.
okay. So and how did you join? Then what happened? Like, did you do
And
high
then
school after the?
eventually you grow up and you have to get a job. So I grew up and I started to work as a cleaner initially, as a babysitter. Actually, au pair. Au pair, this is what we call. And then
A nanny.
Nanny. Started to be a nanny, and then I started to work in the kitchen, washing dishes and washing plates, helping to make salads. And then you get promoted and you go work to make coffees, you go to the bar making coffees. And then when you speak, I actually immigrated to Switzerland because there was no jobs opportunities. So I started as an au pair, so I was staying in a Portuguese family.
In Switzerland.
In Switzerland, and then later I got a job working in a kitchen in a tea room. So I was just washing dishes and helping doing the salads. As my French was improving, they put me working in a bar, making espressos and tea and coffees in a tea room. And once my French was fantastic, then my boss promoted me to work on the floor as a waitress. And later on, I went to work in a pizzeria. And then I was working illegally in Switzerland. I could not get a visa at the time. I had a car accident. I was walking on the road and it was a bit dark, and I got run over by maybe a drunk man. And as he hit me from my left-hand side, I got transported to the right-hand side of the other road. So another car came and he hit me because he didn't have time to stop. And then the police came, an ambulance came to take me to the hospital. And they asked me, they initially only came to find out how did the accident happen. And then it culminated to them to know I had no visa. So I kind of got deported from the country. And this is how I went to England, because I wanted to stay in Switzerland. And the only way I could stay in Switzerland was by going to school. So I wanted to apply for a hospitality school. And the only way was if I would speak English. So with all my savings, I decided to go to England for 3 months to learn how to speak English. So I applied for an English school, and I applied to work in a pub.
How old were you then?
22 years old. And then I had no job, so for 3 months, so I could afford to pay the English course and the accommodation, but then I had to work. But because I didn't speak English, I just went to a pub and I asked them if there was any job available, washing dishes or washing glasses or cleaning tables. And I was offered a job. So while in the morning I would go to school to learn English, and in the afternoon I would go and clean the tables and collect the glasses and do the washing. 3 months later, I went to before going back to Switzerland, I decided to see what was London all about it, and I fell in love with London, and I ended up staying there for nearly 4 years. I had a boyfriend at the time, and my boyfriend was complaining that I always worked in hospitality, because in hospitality it's so easy to find job. But in hospitality you work weekends, you work nights. So my boyfriend asked me to go to the job center and get a proper job, 9 till 5, where I could spend more time with him. So I went to the job center, and I'm not sure if it was the Emirates recruiting week, but the guy who was in administration, he saw my CV and he said, you speak Portuguese, you speak French, and you speak English. Emirates is recruiting, I think you'd give a fantastic cabin crew, why don't you apply for Emirates? And I told him, the reason I am here is because I need a job where I can spend more time with my boyfriend. I don't think so. Meanwhile, I managed to get an administrative job in filing in a hospital in Fulham, 9 till 5, weekends off. And Emirates sent me a letter. The guy at the job center, he sent my application.
Still to them.
He sent it, and I got a letter from Emirates inviting me on an interview. Now, believe it or not, I was always, all the time with my boyfriend. He's like practically inseparable. And the day before the interview, he had to go to a stag night. So I didn't know what to do on a Sunday because I was always with my boyfriend. So I started calling up all my friends, and they were all busy on a Sunday. So I saw Emirates' letter, an interview, and I thought, why not? At least I will keep busy. So I went to the interview, and I think you already all established that I got the job with Emirates Airlines.
And you were a stewardess with
them? And then I came to work in Emirates Airlines in 2003. I was only planning as a cabin crew. I was only planning to stay here for 1 year or 2 years. But that never happened because I had a flight to Bangladesh. And living in Dubai and working as a cabin crew, we often take things for granted, and we kind of forget that the world is not this little bubble where we live here in Dubai. So when I went to Dhaka and I was walking in the slums for the first time, I felt that I had to do something.
How old were you then?
Oh my goodness, maybe 27 years old to 28, April 2005. So initially it was just to go there and give them the clothes that they needed, the food that they needed, the toys that they needed. But then I don't believe in giving them the items they need. I didn't like to do that. And I thought, these people, they have the potential, they can do so much things, and who am I to come here and give them things and downsize them? We should maximize their potential. So then we started by opening a daycare center, a preschool, a primary school, a secondary school, a library center, And then we started I was bringing the European standards, because that's the only thing I knew to a third world country. So there started to be conflicts in the village. So in order to avoid these conflicts, I had to start to help the local communities. So we started by renovating their schools, by providing water wells, helping providing garbage containers for the community, by employing the slum people in our project, by giving the people of that community a job as a teacher, as cooking. And then 3 years later, we had a beautiful project. But then I felt something was missing. And then I realized that, again, all these people, they were depending on us. I was giving them the fish, I was not teaching them how to fish. So I decided to take a more challenging road in teaching them how to fish. It took 3 years, but we are making some progress.
So how are you teaching them how to fish?
Actually, we provided them with the skills that they need to find a job. And don't ask me that, you should ask my kid, he's there sitting there. Robin,
so you're basically teaching...
How did I help you? Come here, baby.
So you...
Come.
So you teach them how to get a job still.
You can. Come here, baby. How did we help you?
Actually, the parents of Bangladesh of us, they don't know how to speak, and without speaking English, it's really hard to get them a job in Dubai. So 2 or 3 years ago, we opened a project to teach the parents the English so that they can get a job in Dubai. So after that still is continuing. So there is no teacher. So like me, there are some guy of our school. So they are teaching the parents still. So after that, and now she is trying to get them 4 or 5 guys to get them job in Dubai, and she's trying, and maybe it may in December, and we may successful in December or January.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So this is Maria, and this is her
and
story.
it's not only trying to find them jobs in Dubai. Why Dubai? Because sadly, I cannot change the way that, I'm sorry guys, you're not going to like this, but it's a reality. Sadly, there is something I cannot change at the moment, and it's not going to be changed in any time near in the future in Bangladesh. I cannot change the way that their society is divided in castes. Actually, it's easier for me to find jobs for the slum dwellers in Dubai than it is to find them jobs in Dubai, in Dhaka.
Because of the caste system.
So yes, because of the caste system. So it's absolutely impossible to get them a decent job employment in Dhaka. They will not even consider, they will not even provide a job interview. So I had no other resources than come to Dubai. Everyone knows Dubai is the land of opportunities. So I had no other choice than trying to bring the fathers here and trying to find them job opportunities. So we do everything from teaching them English, teaching them how to conduct an interview, hygiene, we provide them with the clothes that they need, we provide them with the package that they need when they first come. What else, baby?
Yeah, books.
With the passport, we do their medical, and we provide ethical employment, meaning that they don't have to pay anything to the foundation, they don't owe us anything. From the moment that they get in a job, they're on their feet, and they can build their future. And basically, I just give them the opportunities that I myself was given once upon a time. So this is the 2 first.
So Maria, what's your website address?
www.mariachristinafoundation.org.
And how can they email you?
Oh, click on my website.
What's your email address?
That is complicated.
Okay.
Just log on mariachristinafoundation.org.
Thank you so much, Maria.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I feel terrible.